Always, in every evolutionary jump, the awareness has been enlightened. Like a fish became a reptile. So what? The awareness of a reptile improved. It started feeling the ground. In the nervous system itself, the evolution works out. Whatever we have achieved in our evolution has been in our nervous system. That we can feel the dirt, filth, an animal cannot. We can see the colors, the animal cannot feel it. We can do it because we are higher than the animals in our awareness. So whatever has to happen to us further, logically, we should feel in our awareness, in our central nervous system we should feel it, in our nerves we should feel it. So once you get your realization, what happens? That your fingers, your fingertips become enlightened. Because these are the centers, 5, 6 and 7 on the left and 7 on the right. They get enlightened and you start feeling on them. Muhammad Sahib has said that when the resurrection time will come, your hands will speak. Because the language of hands is an universal language. But hands will speak means these fingertips will be enlightened. And once they are enlightened, you will be able to understand. If you want to live in mythical world, you can go ahead with it. Nobody can stop you. But must understand that gradually we are going towards disaster. And you are to be lifted up out of this movement that's going downward. Otherwise, a hell is awaiting human beings, the way they have ruined themselves, destroyed them, and asked for this kind of a complete disaster of their lives. You are to be lifted out of it. It's a mire which is flowing downward. People read about books which talk of the shocks we are awaiting. But they don't know the tremendous shock that is going to come to us when we will discover that we ourselves, within ourselves, destroying every bit of us. What is cancer? It's nothing compared to the destruction we have set in within ourselves, the way we are disintegrated. There's so much of disintegration in our being, of which you are not aware. The reason is we are not inside, we are outside. I would say that our knowledge is that of the shoot, not of the roots. We know about the shoot, we are flowering. But without the roots, how are we going to sustain ourselves? A day has come where the whole shoot might come out of its roots and we'll be nowhere. There's no sustenance. We have to go back to our roots to find out why and how. What are all these centers? What are these subtle centers? What are they based on? How they nourish us? How they look after us? We have to go to this knowledge, and to understand this knowledge, you have to have a higher awareness. With the human awareness, you cannot understand it. You may call it enlightenment. For example, if you have to enlighten this room, you have to just switch on one light and you come in. It looks very naive to a simple man. It may not be, but to a complicated person, he'll think, what's this? Just put on a switch and it comes up. How can that be? But it is so. It is so. It happens like that. But behind all this is a big organization, is a big history. Without that, they could not have achieved it. Now people who get enlightenment also, the people who are realized souls, who get realization, are still not steady. They are not steady people. I have seen it's a big problem that even if you give them realization, they touch it, they are not steady. Because their habits drag them down. They are lethargic to get out of it. It's very simple. With some people it just works like that. I have seen people who came to me. There was a boy who was alcoholic, who was shouting at me at the top of his voice. But he got his realization. He gave up alcoholism completely. I never tell anybody don't give up this or give up that. Just give up next day. And he's a beautiful person now. He is a beautiful person. But there are habits, there are diseases, there are problems within us which require attention. That's how the Kundalini that comes up and breaks through goes back to these problems, tries to solve them. Because she's your mother. That's the only mother you have. That is the mother who has followed you all your lives. And she's with you again, just waiting for this opportunity to give you realization. But we have so many destructive forces, so many people who are interested in this destruction. Like fake gurus, we can say. I don't know. Today only they asked me questions about these fake gurus. And I told them that if you have brains, how can you pay for all these things? Just tell me, how much did you pay to become a human being from a monkey? What did you do about it? Did you pay any amount? How can you pay for it? If these people are taking money from you for your day-to-day living, for their day-to-day living, they are parasites of the worst type. They are parasites. This is a simple conclusion people should reach, that those who take money for evolutionary work are definitely parasites. No doubt about it. If not parasites, they must be monsters who are sucking our blood. You cannot organize it. You cannot organize living process. We cannot have members of Sahaja Yoga, right? You are member X, you are Y, you pay so much money and you become. No. Because this is artificial. You have to become within yourself. You have to become a realized soul within yourself. You cannot pay for it. You cannot say that you are a member of Sahaja Yoga party, or you cannot organize Sahaja Yogis together like a president and a vice president and somebody is higher, somebody low. You can't do it. Do you do that with flowers? Do you say this flower is higher, this flower is lower? On a tree of life, all of them grow with the same beauty. At different times, some people have it earlier, some have it later on. Doesn't matter. Some of the new Sahaja Yogis who came to me are wonderful people, are tremendous people, than many who came to me about 10 years back, I should say. But one has to realize that if you have got this human life, it is not to be wasted. It is not to be frittered away. It's a very important thing you have got. You are at the epitome of your realization. You have to just reach there. It's the epitome that you have to just achieve. Realization is the way you are going to achieve. The whole of this creation has led to your creation. The human beings, the greatest of all, the loftiest of all. And they have to get this crown of becoming realized. But we have no value of our life, I think. We do not consider that we are valuable people. Though the Creator thinks that we are very valuable. But we don't value our lives the way we waste it. We are not bothered as to what we should do about ourselves. A lamp is made with great care. It is not able to understand, it's not aware of itself how it was made. But it knows that it is made in centuries, it has been created. And now it has come to a point when you have to just put it to the mains. That's all. At that point when it is just to be put to the mains, it shudders. It refuses to be the light. What a frustration it is for the Creator to see the people at this stage are becoming lethargic, are not willing to accept the enlightenment of their own being. You are all just ready. You are just ready to have it. Like one candle you see here is enlightened. It can enlighten many lights. Maybe I am an enlightened light. I can enlighten your light. But nothing to be obliged about. Because you have the candle in you. Just I enlighten you. And then you enlighten another light. That's all. That's all is to be done. Nothing more than that. So what is the obligation? Why ego should stand up and say that why you have to do it? Many a times I have been asked this question. Why, mother of all the things, you have to do it? I said, you better do it. I would like to retire. If you could do it, nothing like it. The day it will start that way, that people can do it on their own, I'll be the happiest person to retire. Because I have nothing to gain in it. I have to just give. I do it because I enjoy giving it. Then you will realize when you have it, that the only enjoyment of this capitalism is to distribute, to give. Before that, when you have nothing but stones, whatever you are distributing is nothing but stones. But when you have the spirit, whatever you are distributing is joy. All these things are for your joy. Everything is for your joy. Comfort or any possession supposed to be giving you joy does not give you, of course. It's mythical. But actually the seeking is for joy. But the real joy, the source is within yourself, is the spirit. And when you become the spirit, you manifest it in such a way that you give this joy to others. It's as simple as that. Because you get it free, you give it free. You just distribute it. Must understand that you cannot sell it in the market. It's so invaluable that you cannot put value to it. It's the most valuable thing that you could think of. So you cannot make economics out of it. But the only economics is that is the only thing that is satiable. That's the only thing that gives you joy. That's the only thing where you change faces, where you become the giver, where you become the light. You don't ask for anything more, but you just give. And the giving is enhanced because when you start giving, all your stagnation vanishes and it starts flowing through you and it flows. This is the situation you are in. I said you are the epitome.